So welcome everybody. Welcome to the second Startup TNT pitch night here in British Columbia. So everybody a cheer. So it's great to see such an enthusiastic crowd. I know a lot of you personally, but others, welcome. We will have some very interesting and promising companies pitching tonight, covering a variety of sectors and technologies. These founders are working hard to build great businesses and scale and grow their companies. Before I go any further, I wanted to introduce our host tonight of this great venue, Ron Gordetsky of AWS for Startups. Ron's been a big supporter of Startup TNT. He invested with us in the fall. He's investing again. I'm going to give him the mic.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Richard. I don't know how much more there is to say, but thank you all for being here today and joining us in the summit. It's been really exciting getting to invest with Startup TNT and getting to meet so many founders, building so many great things. And for those of you that don't know me, before being an investor in Startup TNT, I was on the other side of it, pitching many, many investors. And a big reason that I joined was really, I'd say, the simplicity of getting to pitch once, go through a determined process, and get one check at the very end. In my day job, I lead the team that supports founders at AWS Startups, and really excited to get to work with so many of you today, and really excited to get to meet the rest as well. So thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. Thanks, Ron. So now I'd like to introduce somebody probably most of you know. Will Johnson, please come to the stage. Will was our inaugural lead for Startup TNT here in British Columbia. He ran the summit last year, and I'd like to introduce him to the landing. Just say a few words, because he's a man of very few words, as you know, and the land acknowledgement.
Thanks so much, Richard. I'll definitely try and keep it short. It's so good to see everyone here on a really sunny evening. So thanks for joining us instead of soaking up the sun rays on the beach. We're all really privileged to be here, obviously at AWS, at Amazon, but also I want to acknowledge that we're here gathering on the traditional territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh First Nations, and it really is a privilege for us to be here. And then I want to say personally, I feel really lucky to be here in a room with all of you entrepreneurs and innovators and investors. And this is what really gets me up every day, the excitement of working with people like you. And so we launched Startup TNT in BC last year. I'm working on some new stuff, which I think you will hear about on Thursday. But as I stepped away, we were looking for someone who could sort of take over the mantle of Startup TNT in BC. And Richard was an investor with Startup TNT, and he's someone with a long history of working in tech and innovation and startups here in the ecosystem. And he was the perfect person to take over as the BC lead for Startup TNT. So before I go away, I want to give a round of applause to Richard and a welcome to Richard for carrying Startup TNT on here. Now, I know you're all here to hear from some really innovative startups and entrepreneurs, so I think that is what my role is tonight. And let's hand it back to Richard, and let's get really excited to hear from some amazing entrepreneurs. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks very much, Will. So before we go to the companies, we're going to take you through a little bit about Startup TNT and who we are and a bit back. So Startup TNT started in 2019 when two guys, Zach and Tim, were in a bar, and they said, hey, we'd like to invest in startups. We want to support startups. So what they did is they got, okay, let's get a bunch of people together, put in $5,000 each, and let's find the right startups to invest. So 5 years later, and 300 straight weeks of meetups every Thursday night, Startup TNT has become the leading pre-seed investor in Canada last year. So $17.4 million in capital invested, 42 investment summits over these number of years across the prairies and now here in BC, and 110 companies that have been funded during that time. So given where we are in the world these days, it's great to be in an organization that really is supporting local Canadian startups, and investors are coming to play and to invest in these companies. So let's move on. So let me do it. So this is who we invested in last fall. A company called Atone Bakery. They were our Summit 10 winner in November of last year. They do direct-to-home frozen French bread and baguettes. So since then, they've been really on a tear, up 91% in terms of revenue. They've expanded their MRR, and they're now able to deliver all the way across the Western United States. So real success story. We're proud of them. And I don't know if Alice is here tonight, but they're doing well. So now we couldn't do this without the support of partners and sponsors locally. So these are some of the names. Many of them are here in the crowd. So we'd like to thank you for supporting us, providing us with the financial resource to be able to run these summits across the prairies. So here's some of the other ones. These are a lot of community groups we're partnered with. So how does it work? I sort of alluded to it a little bit. So what happens is that each investor pre-commits $5,000. We then go and companies apply, and the angel investors then perform due diligence over the course of about 8 weeks. This year, our investments will be in the top 5 will be announced prior to the summit finale, which is this year going to be at Vancouver Startup Week, May 20th, at the opening reception at Science World. So I hope you can join us. So this is where we are right now. We had 70 companies apply here in British Columbia. That's almost more than Edmonton and Calgary put together, and they've been doing this for 5 years. So that's the most they've ever had for one summit, and it's impressive. We had an impressive group of companies. Since then, we've been taking it down from 70 companies. We're now at top 20 as the investors have gone through, met with the companies, looked at pitch decks, and voted, really, scored the companies to now we're at our top 20, which is where we are now on April 15th. After tonight, tomorrow, we're actually going to score the companies again down to top 10. We'll be going through virtual data rooms, doing more due diligence to come up by the middle of May with our top 5. The top 5 are going to present at the finale, and the investors will go and actually score and select the winner right there at the event. So who's pitching tonight? So those are the companies that you'll see pitch. Their founders and others are here tonight, and a lot have other colleagues here supporting them, cheering them on, so that's great. So, and then after that, we have a party. So anybody like to join us down in Malone's, a couple blocks down the road, and so that'll be starting about 8:30. So let's get on to the pitches, but before that, I'd like to, for the pitchers, now first of all, when you come up, you'll see a black square. Please stand on the black square so you'll be seen for the stream live. We're live streaming right this now on YouTube. Secondly, you have 3 minutes. At 30 seconds, you'll get a yellow, and at 3 minutes, you'll get a red. So that's 30 seconds left, warning, red, you're done. So, and we'd like to ask the first 4 groups to come up and be on the side here so we can rapidly go on. So what we do normally here is we have our sponsors come up and introduce, act as co-host. So the first sponsor, I'd like to bring up Pierce Johnson from MMP. MMP is a leading national accounting, tax, business consulting firm. Many of you have heard of it. It's founded in 1958. It provides services to companies across Canada. Our co-host tonight is Pierce Johnson, a partner in the private enterprise group. So let me pass it to Pierce.
Thanks, Richard. I had a nice speech I was going to give, but Richard got through all the history, so I'll keep my stuff short. I think everyone's here to listen to some great companies pitch. I'll stand on the box, too, so the stream can see me. So first off, just a huge thank you to Richard, Will, Startup TNT team here, and a big congrats to all the companies that are pitching today. This is going to be an exciting night. I can't wait to hear what everybody has to say and see what everyone's building. Richard touched on it, but I'm a partner in our private enterprise team here in Vancouver, and I spend my time working with startups, tech companies, pretty much everyone who's in the room. M&P itself is a full-service accounting, consulting, tax firm that focuses on the mid-market. And so that kind of puts us in a position where we're uniquely able to support you from that day one. I just incorporated, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, all the way through to that first check, what do I do with all this money, to that ending of, hey, I've actually built a pretty good business. How do I get out of this? And so if anyone's looking to connect with me, I'll be here. I'll be at the bar. Find me on LinkedIn as well. I'm going to give my time back to the group. And the first person that I'm introducing today is going to be Buck Kosi with Holder.
Hello, can everybody hear me? Awesome. So my name is Buck, and today I'll be telling you about Holder. Let's see a show of hands if anyone here likes music or listens to music. I just want to... Okay, so law of the room. That's a good start. Why us? Why we started Holder? Prior to starting Holder, we started a company called Chaos Club Digital. The purpose of this company was to help artists scale. We found that Vancouver had a lot of talent, but we didn't have the ecosystem and the infrastructure to do so. Very young team, no experience, no relationships, no resources, and in a few years we built that into a 7-figure business, supporting artists, working with some of the biggest music companies in the world, with the brands like the Canucks, Nike, Adidas. We became a cultural hub to help brands and artists scale. During this experience, we saw a problem. Music artists were under-monetizing. It takes too much volume to be able to generate revenue. What I mean by this is 1 million streams is worth only $3,000. That's before expenses and anything else. And the only viable way to generate revenue, get capital, is maybe signing up to 85% of your IP going forward. So we saw an opportunity here for a fan economy that is driven by fan community and collaboration. So there's over 12 million artists releasing music. And of that 12 million, you're looking at about 50,000 only generating above $10,000. So the solution that we figured out is you need a platform that combines a few key things: monetization and engagement, access, and consistency in one. Our 3 C's are community, consistency, and commerce. How do we bridge the gap and create something that everyone can enjoy? So what is Holder? Holder is a marketplace where artists can launch limited memberships that give their fans perks. So each artist has up to 1,000 memberships. These memberships give people access, things like early access to tickets, early access to music, early access to products. Artists set the price, the amount of memberships that they're releasing, and fans can hold, hence the name Holder, or sell it to other fans as they scale. Our revenue model is pretty simple. We take a fee on all the membership sales and secondary sales, as well as a fee on merch and products. And we also do services like making mini games. So where are we today? As of this moment, all of the beta artists that we've launched with, we launched our beta at the end of last year. They've sold out all of their memberships. We've had over 5 million people play the games in the Holder arcade. Artists with only hundreds of fans are making a substantial amount of revenue. So the smallest artist, 500 followers, made close to $1,000. That's the equivalent of 300,000 people streaming. Now, that only came from 10 people. So you can see the significance there. We have over 90 artists lined up for the rest of the beta, over 1,000 people on our wait list. We've raised capital from strategics like the ex-president of Live Nation, Universal, a lot of strategics involved. And right now we're raising $250,000 to continue our beta and scale the platform. In the market, it's pretty large, 50 billion, over 250,000 artists. And we're seeing this cultural shift right now where people want community and something that's tangible. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for that, Buck. Next up is going to be Ben Hilborn with Elastic Energy.
Too many things to hold. Amazing. We're good. Hi, I'm Ben with Elastic Energy, and believe it or not, the grid that is powering your homes, your businesses, this building is under a whole lot of duress. We have an electrification explosion from myself and my friends and all of you buying EVs, getting heat pumps, potentially adding solar and batteries to your homes. We have a whole lot of volatility coming onto the grid from the integration of these renewables. The infrastructure itself is aging. This is conductors, transformers, this is towers themselves. And we have a real lack of real-time flexibility. If you are a grid operator, this scares you to death. And the only answer to this right now, because we have no other option, is the implementation of participation of the edge of the grid. What this means is you, me, and our things all joining the grid to help support the grid and help manage the ebbs and flows of energy. Great. Why isn't this everywhere? Because it's really freaking hard. There are a whole lot of layers that you need to bring together to make this not only accessible to people, but to make it work technically. There are companies all over trying to do this, but they stumble on any one of these layers, and you see essentially pilot hell, in that a utility will deploy a pilot program and it doesn't really go anywhere beyond that. So instead, we decided we're going to take all of that complexity and condense it down into one little green box. It is instantly deployable to any one of our homes. There is a beautiful consumer-facing interface for you and I so that we can actually understand what we're signing up for and what we're participating in. We solve the device connectivity problem, which means that the utilities that all of the other energy suppliers no longer need to do one-to-one integrations with device OEMs and go through that long and very expensive process. And we do this all invisibly behind the scenes, so this is deployable in 5 minutes rather than a year or more. And that's what we call the energy router. By deploying Elastic, energy providers unlock hundreds of billions of dollars in avoided infrastructure costs. This may sound like a fantastical number, except when you realize that the scope of the problem is about $1.5 trillion of infrastructure upgrades that have to happen over the next couple decades. So we help offset a significant amount of those. We turn grid volatility from a risk profile into an opportunity profile, not just for the energy service providers, but for the other companies in the space that surround them. And we really align incentives between all of these devices, yourself and myself, and the people in the middle of the stack, as well as those that run the grid. We have a $4 million waitlist for this. We have a device that's ready to go into manufacturing with our manufacturing partners. We have a huge amount of demand from the energy space, and we have the team to do this with a deep background in device connectivity and grid scalability. We're raising a safe, and this is to go into manufacturing, deployment, and deploy on our pipeline. That's that.
Awesome, thanks for that. Our next presenter is going to be Justin Asgerpour with EyecareX.
Thank you so much.
Have fun.
Thank you. Where's the deck? Is it, oh, perfect. Okay, great. All right, thanks all. Name's Justin Asgerpour. I'm the founder and CEO of EyecareX. Our focus at EyecareX is automating the eye exam journey. Our mission is to create more affordable and more accessible eye care globally, and our vision is complete autonomy of the eye exam. Now, by trade, I'm an optometrist. I'm also the owner-operator of a successful group of optometry clinics across the country. And a problem that I'm consistently faced with across all my locations is inability to meet patient volume demand. And this problem isn't specific to myself. 60% of optometry clinics face the same issue, meeting patient volume demand. And this not only prevents optometrists from reaching their revenue capabilities, but more importantly, preventing them from properly servicing the vision care needs of their respective populations. And this drives 50% of North Americans to neglect their vision care needs on a regular basis, which is driving an epidemic of preventable vision loss and blindness in North America. Now, our solution at EyecareX, leveraging artificial intelligence, we've automated the majority of the eye exam journey. We're empowering optometrists with the ability to outsource the majority of the eye test to customers' homes using our AI-enabled mobile application. This way, when a doctor does see the patient, the optometrist notes a near 38% lift in productivity, meaning with near static OpEx, no significant capital expenditures, the doctor can see more patients on a daily basis. Now, our business at its core is a B2B SaaS model. For a monthly subscription, a doctor gets full access to our suite of AI tools and our ERP platform. There's about 42,000 optometry clinics in North America, and these are EyecareX's prospective customers. Our initial beachhead market is Canada, where we've achieved Health Canada clearance from a regulatory perspective and also have a rich network of optometrists to leverage. We're currently piloting our prototype in about 12 facilities across the country, and we're looking to move to a paid pilot in the coming month once we fully clear our initial tech stack from a UAT perspective. Now, there are other competitors digitizing certain elements of the eye exam workflow. Where EyecareX stands unique is providing the most end-to-end automation to optometrists, providing the most efficient workflow possible. And we have the leadership team to deliver here. Myself, the past Chief Vision Officer of Clearly, Canada's largest e-commerce optical provider, where I developed Canada's first AI-based direct billing engine. Also the past president for the British Columbia College of Optometrists, where I authored the province's regulations on remote optometry technology. Our technical leader, Ziv Pollock, the past head AI ML at Clearly. Costa Baraboim, the head engineer, is the senior program manager at TELUS. And Salman Hamid, the past CTO of Clearly, and also Andrew Osgood, an optometrist with heavy industry experience. We have a very supportive board of advisors, and we've been fortunate to have industry backing as well, helping us with our product development and business development efforts. We're looking to raise $2.5 million towards continued R&D efforts, and also building an operating team to help us grow and scale into our beachhead market. Thank you so much, and looking forward to connecting.
Thanks for that, Justin. Last up, John Cowley from What If I? Good luck.
What if I? The three most powerful words in business. What if I raise 5 million? What if I raise 10? What if I hire Bill in January or Sue in October? What if I land that massive project, or what if I don't? Every strategic what if can make or break a company. Yet today, answers live in static, error-prone spreadsheets, impossible to scale or build past 2 or 3 scenarios at a time. Finance team spends 30% of their time updating models and can take months to build a new forecast. And even then, it is gobbledygook, unreadable to anyone who isn't a spreadsheet ninja. And then AI. It can't be trusted to run complex time series multivariable scenarios years out in the future. We've solved this. What If I is an AI-enabled decision tree platform that helps businesses visually model complex what-if scenarios years out in the future, all without spreadsheets or formulas. From pricing strategies to customer growth to operational changes, What If I enables decision makers to make decisions fast and effectively. Users can drag and drop business logic events, income, expenses, banks, loans, customers, nodes, and then run hundreds, if not thousands, of concurrent scenarios. Our proprietary calculation engine runs all of these. We do the math, and they're 100% accurate. Our outputs are large language model friendly. That means management can have an actual conversation with their forecasts, ask questions, get answers, even get recommendations, just using natural language. What is my best case scenario, my worst case scenario? Or how many people do I need to hire in January to make a target delivery? And get instant, auditable answers. My name is John, and for years I ran a visual effects studio here in Vancouver. I raised revenue from 4 million to 30 million, and I had 140 employees. What If I is inspired by workflows from the film and television industry. And all the magic that you see in the movies is created this way. We're replicating that. In January, we turned on revenue. We have 8 paid pilots and 1 consulting contract. And while our tech can be used in any vertical, we're focusing on capacity planning for project-based industries. It's a $40 billion TAM, and spreadsheets fail spectacularly. Fractional executives, CFOs, consultants are all part of our awareness funnel. We are a subscription model with optional add-on modules and consulting revenue. We're expecting to have 540K ARR by the end of the year. I've personally invested $800,000 of my own money. We're raising $750K USD right now, all to drive adoption and revenue. Imagine Excel meets decision trees, but in the multiverse. Infinitely scalable, 100% accurate. And we're using What If I to transform strategic planning, basically AI agents for finance. Thank you.
I'll take the clicker, yeah. What great presentations. Thanks, everybody, for the first 4. So let's move on to the next set. Let me introduce Thomas Jordan. Thomas is with Business Development Bank of Canada, which is dedicated to supporting Canadian entrepreneurs and Canadian companies, particularly small and medium-sized enterprises. Thomas is a major account executive in their tech industry group, and let me pass it away.
Thanks, Richard. So I'm Thomas Jordan with BDC, as Richard mentioned, the only bank dedicated exclusively to entrepreneurs. So we support small, medium-sized businesses from a financing perspective, investment, and advisory as well. My specific role is in the tech industry, so we provide non-dilutive financing options for early-stage tech companies that are in growth mode. So happy to chat after this if you'd like to learn a little bit more, but you're not here to listen to me. So I'd like to introduce our next presenter, Pat McConnell here from Atlantis Fiber.
Good evening. So every year, an astonishing 400 million tires are recycled in North America alone, and this is growing at about 11% year over year, which is a pretty astonishing figure. It's about a tire per head per population based in North America. Troubling in that is that there's a problematic part of the tire that is only really being recycled through being burnt for cement fuel or otherwise landfill, which is obviously quite tragic, and we're aiming to fix that. On the flip side of that coin, and seemingly unrelated, we have a major infrastructure problem within North America and globally, and especially amongst the highly seismic areas of the world that I'll touch on here in a second. So this tragedy just happened, as you folks probably know, about 2 weeks ago in Myanmar and Thailand, where untold devastation was wrought upon these poor folks. Thousands were killed. What if there was a solution to help mitigate some of these damages? Atlantis has pioneered a product called NextGuard. It basically has the strength of steel and the flexibility of rubber. It's made of recycled tire fiber and other industrial byproducts, goes on about a ½ an inch thick, as you can see here in this application. This was subject to a 9.1 Fukushima, Japan earthquake. The exact inputs of that earthquake were imparted into the shake table. Picture speaks 1,000 words. You can see the before and after picture of these two walls. Notably, we've developed a few other benefits in that we have proprietary manufacturing and patents in 30 countries with this particular mix. We've gone with a distribution manufacturing model initially just to save on CapEx until we can make the business case to build our own plant within the next 2 or 3 years. And importantly, it's easy application, so the end user will have no other issues with using this. It's very much par for the course for what they're used to in their day-to-day. Competition, shotcrete shear walls and carbon fiber mesh. We come in at a staggering 5 times cheaper, 6 times faster to apply, and twice as strong. Importantly, insurance companies and business owners like this because we lower the probable maximum loss by 50%, which will save them effectively millions of dollars of the life of their particular asset. So we're looking at a $50 billion market opportunity within North America. We're focusing initially on the $3 billion target within Pacific Northwest, California, and Utah, and we're targeting $50 million in revenue by the end of year 5. Our market traction is good. We've raised 1.4, mostly in non-dilutive grant money from industrial partners such as Liberty Tire. And additionally, we've raised a $5 million pipeline. We plan on transitioning 1.5 million of that by the end of Q3. These are some additional applications from roads. We did a great pilot project with Lafarge, the city of Surrey. Here's another picture of that. Great industrial applications for heavy manufacturing and parking lot improvements. Great, excellent team. I'm short on time, so I'm going to speed up. Today we're raising 1.5 million at $10 million valuation. But importantly, 50% of that money will go right towards converting our sales pipeline to active revenue. And that's it. Folks, thanks very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Next up is Khalil Ashanti from Mantis XR.
Hey everybody, how you doing? So I was performing magic in Japanese at Caesar's Palace for 3 years at the end of the 90s, and this is when Amazon released its very first product page for e-commerce, and it hasn't changed a whole lot since. So why is 3D going to be more pervasive than video? Because the 3 biggest challenges facing e-commerce merchants are lack of differentiation, low trust, and conversion, and 3D unlocks all of that. How do we know? Because Amazon and Walmart are spending a whole lot of money creating virtual storefronts. Problem is, it doesn't scale. They're doing it for Harry Potter. They're doing it for Star Wars. Not everybody has Harry Potter and Star Wars budgets. And Shopify said it themselves, 90% of businesses with revenues of 100 million to 1 billion are already benefiting from this, but they need to democratize it and make it accessible to as many merchants as possible, and that's where Mantis XR comes in. Our no-code CMS makes it easy for merchants, whether it's Roblox, whether it's Shopify, Amazon, whoever, to be able to create 3D storefronts in minutes, mobile first and mobile friendly. Now we've done that with an $800,000 safe round, but now we've been able to work with some of the biggest brands in the world with a 94% increase in average order value and a 39.1% increase in conversion, 10x the industry average, and now we need fuel to scale. We're raising a $2 million seed. That'll get us to $103 million in SaaS revenue by Q4 2028, and we've already been whitelisted by Amazon, and we are now working with Walmart as well. You'll be in great company. Our investors really know what they're doing, and they've really been able to bring some fire to the table. Now, how do we scale? How do we use those funds? Well, there's a couple of ways. We're going to scale with strategic access. Instead of one-to-one, we're going to be able to do sales and enablement tools to be able to scale through these massive networks we have access to. Developer-led growth. Let's put it in the hands of developers. We all know that the way software is being created has changed forever. So you can go from prompt to storefront with an MCP and AI in no time at all, and then repeatable AI templates with AI onboarding. You can use templates so you don't have to think and use AI to make it yours. This started with magic, and with your help, we can make more. Thank you.
Thanks, Khalil. Next up is Andrew Hodge from Caseway.
Hi, my name is Andrew Hodge. I am the CTO and co-founder of Caseway AI. At Caseway, we aim to improve legal services through intelligent automation. I've completely forgotten my lines, I'm sorry. Usually my co-founder does these sort of things, and I got roped into it at the last minute. Before we begin, let's address a couple of issues that Caseway is currently solving in the industry. The first is how expensive access to legal information is. Lawyers on average in Canada charge $350 per hour. On the practice side of things, lawyers are spending hours upon hours unnecessarily doing manual tasks such as filling out forms and traversing large data sets to find information. These inefficiencies result in increased labor costs as well as lowered overall productivity. And this is where Caseway comes in. By leveraging the powerful inference abilities of large language models combined with an immense data set of court judgments, facilitated by a intuitive chat interface, Caseway solves these pain points, increases access to justice and increases access to justice and increases the quality and speed of legal services in general. Our technology has demonstrated results in key legal workflows. For instance, on Caseway AI today, users can parse and search over millions of court judgments and receive reliable answers, or have our AI generate complex legal documents based on their needs and their industry needs as well. Why is this opportunity available to us now? Well, AI has come a long way. The accuracy and intelligence of AI's outputs is increasing through a technique called retrieval augmented generation. Caseway can provide reliable results. Apologies, I'm forgetting everything I'm saying. Caseway can provide reliable results, and there's an increased demand for these services because the cost of legal services is rapidly increasing. And this can be seen in the growth of the North American B2B legal services, which has grown by 4.27% year over year. I got the yellow card there, so I'm going to speed this up. Through our simplified pricing model, and our position in the Canadian and US markets already. We're uniquely poised to capture that growth. And our go-to-market strategy in the US is already underway, and with strategic partnerships, and this is over. So I just wanted to highlight some key points. We've onboarded over 2,000 users since the start of Caseway 9 months ago, and approaching $20,000 MRR. Thank you for listening to my talk. I hope it wasn't too laborious for you guys, and have a good day.
Thanks, Andrew. And next up, please welcome Nikki Curl from Open Water Solar.
There we go. Hi, I'm Nikki with Open Waters. We began with a vision of creating an electric catamaran, but when it came time to power the boat, we experienced extreme difficulty with the solar. It just would not work. So after 500 failures and extremely creative composite engineering, we've come up with this beautiful solar panel that's a fiberglass composite, and it's pretty much indestructible. We can put solar in mobile applications that have never been used before. We have an award-winning installation on this boat that won at Cannes EV of the Year last year, and we see a massive opportunity for diesel displacement. This is the true ROI of our company and the value that we give back. We're building a solar trailer right now that with 24 kilowatts of energy could displace up to 20,000 liters per year. And beyond that, we have other opportunities in the market for specialized solar. So we're a revenue-generating company already. We produce in Prince George, BC, under very low overhead, and we have a 3-year plan to reach $100 million in revenues. Right now, we're automating production that will demand the growth of our pilot plant into full production and then a production facility in Europe. And this is largely driven by the transportation industry. Our solar truck will be presented this summer as a demo to the industry. And after we drive around, get some data, we're confident we can fill an order book up to 2 years or even more and reach this $100 million in revenue. The team has gone from startup to commercialization in 18 months. You see me in the middle, I'm CRO holding the team together. We've got engineers on the right, business on the left, and we can get it done. We're using our $1 million left in our seed round to finish the automation. We already have the robots and we already have the skills for the engineering, so we're very confident. We have distributors and service providers all over the world. In fact, our boat manufacturers and servicers love our product because it's such a high margin, we make them money. They have no headaches on warranties, and their end users, which we understand completely, want this luxury product on their boat. Oh, and we're $400,000 in back orders. I almost forgot that. So we make cool things. We're looking for investors that see our vision that electrification in the future is not going to be a nice to have, but a need to have. We have partners with awesome accelerators. We do projects with UBC. Our solar's on research vessels. We have an order for a helicopter pad. A helicopter can land on our solar. That's how durable it is. We love it, and we hope you'll join us on our journey to make the world's lightest, strongest, and most durable solar for mobility available to everyone. Let's make some money. I'm Nikki. Great.
So that was a great pitch. Now, let's go on to our next co-host. So let me turn my page so I have my notes. So our next sponsor who's going to be co-hosting today is from Dentons. Dentons is a global law firm offering legal services across Canada in corporate, commercial, M&A, litigation. Our co-host tonight is Manveer Bisla, who's a partner in their corporate and venture technology group and emerging companies group. So, Manveer.
Great. Thank you, Richard. You gave a great intro on the firm. Back So Denton's, we're in 80 countries across the world. We're in everywhere, North America, South America, Europe, Asia. The only place we are not is Antarctica, yet. And on me, I do a lot of work with startup companies, from pre-incorporation when founders have an idea working out of their parents' basement, all the way to the end of the life cycle, the largest tech companies in the world, and everything in between. That's me, that's Denton's, and a little bit about me. And a few of my colleagues will be around after this, and as well as Malone's, if you have any questions. The first startup that I'm going to introduce is Dalma Sandu with Flutter.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dalma Sandu, and I'm the CEO and founder of FlutterCare. This is my friend, Nadine. For 15 years, she was a policy analyst with the Government of Canada, and she loved being able to contribute to her community as a public servant. Nadine and her husband were so excited to learn that they were expecting a baby girl, Judith. Judith was full of energy, a little kickboxer inside of Nadine's belly. But just 2 weeks before her due date, Nadine noticed Judith's movements becoming less frequent and weaker. So she went to her doctor, who took Judith's heartbeat, told her that baby's just run out of room, and sent her back home. And just 2 days later, little Judith's heart stopped beating, and Nadine's world changed forever. The guilt and grief she experienced after her stillbirth was debilitating. She was hospitalized for PTSD and depression, and to this day has been unable to return to work. Nadine's story is not uncommon. Every 16 seconds, a baby around the world is stillborn. And in high-income countries, 30% of these deaths could be prevented. At FlutterCare, we're developing a novel, non-invasive wearable technology to allow parents and physicians to continuously monitor maternal and fetal health from home. We've developed a new method to autonomously detect fetal movements, which is one of the most important and established indicators of fetal well-being. Current technologies today are only focused on fetal heart rate, which can be misleading, and we've seen this in Nadine's case. Our technology is providing a more preventative solution by filling the gap with detection of fetal movements and fetal heart rate. So we've developed novel technologies with our patents pending, and we've received safety approvals for use in clinical studies. And we're currently testing our product on pregnant women, and recent results have shown successful detection of 100% of the fetal movements, and we're currently working with the Ottawa Hospital towards our pivotal study. The first technology that we developed was a mobile app to help parents to manually track fetal movements, and this technology has been promoted by the International Stillbirth Alliance and the Washington State Department of Health, and we're working with key health authorities like the Public Health Agency of Canada towards a national strategy to prevent stillbirths. I started this company when I was an undergraduate student at UBC. During that time, I was the sole national recipient of the Engineers Canada Gold Medal Student Award, and since then, I've founded 3 different organizations. My team has led technical teams at top companies ranging from medical wearables to humanoid robotics. And we're supported by world-class physicians, medtech entrepreneurs, and product leaders. Little Judith's legacy lives on, and there is hope. 2 years ago, Nadine and I worked together to successfully advocate for new national fetal health surveillance guidelines. So now in Canada, every mother should be counseled by her care provider to regularly monitor fetal movements. FlutterCare has the power to change the standard of care for remote pregnancy monitoring. We've already raised over $1 million, and we are currently conducting our seed round to get through to clinical studies and our FDA submissions. And so if you were to join this, you would be joining 32 angel investors and 2 venture capital funds towards bringing this life-saving solution to the world. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Next we have Max So with Bravo Rewards.
Thank you. Hi guys, my name is Max. I'm the founder or CEO of Bravo, the fastest growing scam pay earn app in Canada. Our business began with a story. Jack, this restaurant owner, once asked me, "Hey Max, you want to buy a gift card from us?" I said, "No." He said, "Great deal, $1,000 for $1,200. I said, "Jack, why do you want that?" Jack said, "Well, I need the capital up front. I want you to come more often. And if you give this card to your friends, I get new customer." So, well, it's a good deal. So I took it. 3 months after, he's closed. Well, this is the first time I realized independent restaurant industry is very hard, but there must be a better way to do it. Well, at that moment, I got a brilliant idea. Well, since I can buy a gift card from one restaurant, I can buy it from hundreds of restaurants with a discount. How about I put them in one gift card? And then with that discount that I got, I'm going to incentivize all these users to buy this gift card and incentivize them to go to the restaurant and repeatedly go to this restaurant. Well, I did not spend much time on this one gift card. Instead, I produced one app. This app, where you can access hundreds of restaurants. You just need to go up there, link your card, scan, pay, and you are going to earn up to 30% cashback on every single meal that you have. Result, amazing. In 12 months, we onboard more than 260 restaurants across Vancouver. For user-wise, we have more than 21,000 registered users. These 21,000 registered users, every day, they go out there into the restaurant, say, I pay with Bravo. And in the last 12 months, they made 43,000 transactions worth almost $2 million of food. And guys, we are looking at a huge market here. It's a $100 billion market across North America. And you know what? Bravo right now already have more locations than Starbucks and McDonald's added together in Vancouver. And eventually, we are going to have more locations, more users, more data than any of these monopoly that you guys see. In the history, first time, with Bravo, independent restaurant is going to be able to compete like a chain. We are raising $3 million to reach $10 million revenue, and we are going to expand across Canada. We are a solid team here. We have been working with each other for 8 years, and we have our first exit in 2022. And I invite you guys to join our journey as a unicorn. Thank you. Oh, one more thing. Well, my co-founder, Yang, there is going to hand out gift card to you guys. You guys can use that gift card to redeem a free gelato ice cream in Bella Gelato. We pay for that already, and we need you as a new consumer for them. This is our business model. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next, we have Omar Sakar with My Trials AI.
Make sure that works. Perfect, there we go. Everyone, I'm Omar. I'm the CEO of MyTrials.ai. I'd like to start with a little story. So this summer marks 8 years since my friend and co-founder Christian lost his grandfather. He was diagnosed with leukemia, and he was only given a couple of years to live by his doctors. But he ended up living over a decade, and that's because his family were relentlessly chasing clinical trials all across North America. All across North America. Now, the journey that they went through was pretty long, and it's something that they shouldn't have gone through in order to find the treatment options that they deserve. Now, while Christian's family had some knowledge and the resources to go on that journey, most families don't have that, right? But unfortunately, patients are not alone in this journey. It's actually the entire market that's falling apart. So pharma companies spend years and billions of dollars just trying to look for the right patients for their trials. And clinical trial sites skim through hundreds of patients to find patients for their trials, and they end up disqualifying most of them. And that just leaves all the patients that are in need for trials to be left in the dark. So that's why we built MyTrials.ai, where we built it to bridge the gap between both the patients and pharma, and it really starts with the patient. All they have to do is hop on our website, they fill out a simple survey, and then our AI pre-screens them in real time and matches them to trials that they're actually eligible for. And then once they are fully qualified, then they are automatically sent to clinical trial sites and pharma companies to get enrolled in these trials. It saves everyone a lot of time, and it saves everyone a lot of money, and it also gives patients access to treatments that they need. It also gives us a massive opportunity because this is a $9.4 billion problem just in North America alone, inside of a $41 billion market. And this is a growing problem at an 8.2% rate, which is faster than the 6% than the market is growing at. So our revenue model is simple. It's a pay per patient that we're currently piloting right now. It's $100 for each screened patient that's qualified for clinical trials. That's paid by CROs and by pharma companies. Once the patient is referred to them, we get that check. It's simple to implement, it's fast, and it fills up the trials for pharma companies. And it's also a pretty sticky business. Once a CRO goes with us, it's pretty expensive to break out of that. This is our traction so far. We've only launched last December, so in 4 months we've raised $200,000. We've partnered with Providence Healthcare, and we've connected over 100 patients to clinical trials. And we're also actively engaging with patient advocacy groups to reach patient populations all around the country. Boom, there we go. We're currently raising $1 million to scale all across North America. If you believe that clinical trials should be fast, more inclusive, ROI-driven, I'd love to talk, and we can crack also a few tall people jokes over there. Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. And last, we have Richard McKellar with Solarity Craft.
Good evening, thank you. I look forward to talking to you about Solarity. This is, I think, the most fun company that there is here tonight. Such a cool product. We want to thank all the people that have helped us get here. We're going to talk about the dynamic air cushion vehicle, and I was talking to the RCMP. When they do a trip by boat from Vancouver up to Prince Rupert and back, they can spend $100,000 on fuel. That's not only hugely expensive, it's also enormous when it comes to emissions. We solve that problem for the RCMP, for the Navy, for consumers, for just about any type of boat there is out there through the dynamic air cushion vehicle. This provides lift that gets rid of the drag and thrust in a single motion in a technology that's never been introduced before. When you go faster with less fuel, the economics are spectacular. Going faster means more revenue, lower fuel consumption means lower cost, and you can have zero emissions. Very compelling value proposition across most of the markets that there are in the marine area. Our first product is going to be an 11.9 meter 12 passenger vessel to deliver people and goods up and down the coast. And from there, we're going to expand in 3 dimensions. We're going to go to bigger and bigger vessels, we're going to go to new geographies, and we're going to go into new markets. We already have our first 3 commitments from customers, so our first $1.5 to $2 million is in the bank, and we're in discussions with some of these leading other organizations. This means that we have confidence in how we take off to get to a high revenue company. And we see exits coming at multiple stages along the way, where this is going to be an interesting acquisition opportunity for many players in the industry. We have a number of competitors. Most people think about hydrofoils and hovercraft. If that's all we compete with, we have failed. We're going after the main market of that white insert here because that's where most of the boats are sold today. Our business model is not to be capital intensive in a boat builder. We will work with boat builders to supply our technology. We will sell to the market, and we will have partners that we work with across the world. We already have 4 patents that we have filed and another 50 that are coming up. This is my 4th startup company, and I've had the joy of nice exits as well, and a great team here, supported by advisors that include the CTO of NATO and a chief engineer with the Royal Navy who said, why hasn't someone done this before? We're raising $1.5 million. We're well over halfway there, and we look forward to talking to you about contributing. We will achieve these 5 things with that money. So come and join us on a journey to change the world. We look forward to making marine as it's never been done before.
So thanks very much, everybody. Just want to have a shout out to people who are watching this on YouTube, both here and across the prairies. Also, for any of you who've missed it or want to go back, this will be on our YouTube channel, so you can go back and look at it again, or actually look at pitches that you want to see again. So let me introduce right now from LFG Partners, Rob Anofsky. LFG Partners is a professional service firm based in Vancouver. They offer a range of financial services, including accounting, taxation, corporate finance, and shred. So Rob is a business development director with the firm, and let me pass it on to him.
Thanks, Richard. Yeah, so LFG, we've been around since 2010. We're in Yaletown. We're 10 people, and we work really great with startups. But we're not just an accounting and shred advisory firm. We like to be really embed ourselves with your startup and become your finance and accounting department. So we can do things like bookkeeping, payroll, fractional CFO, fractional controller. So yeah, that's us. And now for the startup, here we go. So from Drive Hockey Analytics, Adam Nathwani. Head up.
Hey everyone, I'm Adam with Drive Hockey Analytics. Drive is a sports data company building smart arena technology. So I'm sure we've all seen how sports analytics have transformed pro sports. It's changed the way that athletes train, the way that teams prepare. It's even changed the way that fans consume sports. But these sports... Something going on here. At the end. Yeah, I don't think the button's working here. Are you holding it upside down? I think you're holding it the wrong way. That would be it. All right, I'm going to start again here. Hey everyone, I'm Adam Nathwani with Drive Hockey Analytics. Drive is a sports data company building smart arena technology. So I'm sure we've all seen how sports analytics have transformed pro sports. It's changed the way that athletes train, changed the way that teams prepare. It's even changed the way that fans consume sports. But these sports analytics solutions in the market today were all built exclusively for the pros. Their price point and product design are fundamentally impractical for any level of sport outside of the highest professional levels, which means millions of athletes at the amateur ranks don't have access to these same advantages. We at Drive have developed NHL-level smart arena and performance analytics capabilities, except that we have specifically built our version for the 120,000 teams below the NHL, right down to the grassroots. We leverage our proprietary sensor technology to deliver better data at a fraction of the cost. This is what allows us to take a pro concept and bring it down market in order to tap into the massive youth, amateur, and even recreational sports markets. Initially, our focus is to use our data to help players and teams get better. But we also see downstream applications for our data as well, right across the hockey industry. For instance, for scouting, media and broadcasting, fan engagement, athlete health, and even sports betting, depending on the segment. And while we're starting with hockey, we see an easy transition into other sports because our sensor technology is sport agnostic, which means we can turn any ice rink, basketball court, soccer field, baseball diamond, or any other playing surface into a smart arena in minutes. And we're already executing. We're approaching $1 million in MVP sales. We have partnerships with top leagues across North America. Our tech is enabled in over 70 arenas today, with another 50 coming online this year alone. We have an extensive IP portfolio. We've won numerous sports tech industry awards, and we've taken part in 3 sports-specific startup accelerators. On top of that, we have an all-star team with hundreds of years of experience in elite and pro-level hockey, as high as the NHL, and a track record of success scaling 5 previous startups, including in sports data. We're currently raising a $1.5 million seed round, led by a strategic partner who will be bringing a $5 million ARR opportunity from within their ecosystem to the table. And so now we're looking for additional partners that can help us scale quickly. So if you're interested in backing a company that's not only built a better product, but is also redefining the playing field for millions of athletes, we'd love to connect. Thank you very much. Again, I'm Adam with Drive. It's been a pleasure.
Okay, thanks, Adam. Next up is Reed Clayton from Codezero Technologies.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it. Reed Clayton, co-founder and CEO of Codezero. Thanks for having me here tonight. Really look forward to sharing what we built. Just to take a level set, how many people are developing software in the room today? Hands up, please. Okay, awesome. How many people know what one of the biggest wastes of money in software development is today? Anybody want to take a stab at that? Human labor is one of them, but it's actually enterprises spend $160 billion a year maintaining non-production environments, meaning development environments, test environments. It's even more expensive when you start factoring in how to develop AI. That's money not spent on growth, not spent on innovation. Software developers are frustrated. Your security people are terrified. What's happening with software development is it's getting more and more expensive. There's challenges with testing software at scale. Configuration errors and drift are making their way into production. Who remembers the Rogers outage, the CrowdStrike outage, the GitHub leaking 34 million secrets? All because defects made their way into a production environment, and that had significant impact to businesses. We're seeing longer test cycles impacting companies. We're seeing expensive tools and challenges integrating AI. What we do is we remove the complexity from developing software. We've developed an environment where coders can simply focus on testing and collaborating in secure pre-production environments, and we've developed an overlay network that enables secure real-time coding in any environment. Those stats that you see on the top, those aren't industry stats, those are actually results from our early design partners. We're seeing a 96% improvement in developer onboarding times, 92% faster release times, which means companies can be more competitive and deliver their code to market faster, and a 90% reduction in defects making it into production code. Don't take it from me. The folks on the other side of the slide were early investors and advisors. CEO of GitHub, Thomas Dohmke, said, "You guys are solving a really important problem." Marty Weiner from Reddit joined as an advisor and an investor, and he said, "I threw $1 million at this problem at Reddit, and it didn't solve it." We're in the process of raising a $1 million safe, and we're going to sign another 10 enterprise design partners and get ready to do our next large institutional round. Hope you can all join us in our mission to make software secure, simple, and more productive. I think I'm under time. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob. Next up is Rob. Thanks, Reed. Next up is Rob Tenniswood from Guard Bioscience.
Thank you very much. Hi, I'm Rob from Guard Bioscience. 1 in 8 men are going to be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. Doctors today diagnose this using a blood test that's about 50% accurate and biopsy that misses 20 to 40% of tumors. Now, prostate cancer is a very slow-growing disease, so only about 30% of those cases need to be treated. But for the men that are treated, about 50% will deal with some sort of complication that will be with them maybe for years, maybe for the rest of their life. We think we can do it better. We've developed a $600 urine test that is over 90% accurate at diagnosing cancer. But that's not all it does. We go beyond detection and offer direction. We can identify and provide a risk classification of low risk, medium risk, or high risk cancer, and help the patients that don't need treatment avoid it and make sure that the patients who do need it get it. So the market really needs this. Right now, we're looking at the prostate cancer diagnostics industry growing to a $13.7 billion industry by the end of 2030. In the US alone, they're wasting about $1.5 billion a year in unnecessary treatments. Right now, obviously, the population is growing, but we're seeing a shrinkage in the number of practicing urologists per patient by 37% by the end of the decade. Now, our technology is already at a TRL 6 to 7. So in a year, we'll be ready to start our clinical study. A year after that, we'll be ready to submit for regulatory approval. And with the help of a contract sales organization, we'll be ready to start sales as soon as those approvals start coming in. So my team and I have been working together for about 12 years now. We're a mix of tech entrepreneurs and deep research scientists. So, I mean, yeah, men are being diagnosed and suffering from overtreatment of prostate cancer far too much. We think that we can change that by providing a test that is accurate, is non-invasive, and is accessible for patients, and provide the urologists and doctors in general with actionable information, give patients an opportunity to avoid the burden of care and save money, and we can do it from right here in Canada. So we're raising $6 million, and we're going to use that money, or get that money between direct investment, tax rebates, and non-dilutive equity. So, you know, this future of prostate cancer begins right here with you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Rob. Next up is Harvey Hawes from Building Block Systems. There you go.
Hi, everybody. I'm Harvey. I'm a trauma surgeon and a humanitarian surgeon, and I've deployed pretty much around the world. And one of the biggest problems I find when I deploy is a lack of medical supplies. The supply chain is really hard to do in a lot of the world. Patients die when you don't get supplies. I can't get the stuff I need to take care of the patients where they are. So, getting tired of watching them die. This happens in combat zones. This happens in disaster zones. This happens in remote Canada North. Unfortunately, I think given the trade wars that go on, it might happen in urban centers in Canada, and that really worries me. So I started Building Block. So Building Block moves medical device manufacturing close to the patients. In fact, it puts it right next to the patients. We do this by heavily engineered containers. We fill it with the best advanced manufacturing technologies, and we put a digital catalog and an inventory management system there, all in one. We can make medical grade products in thermoplastics, silicone, metal. These are class 1, class 2 medical devices. This is what you need to provide care in the field. So imagine a use case. Canadian Armed Forces is faced with a European war. They could take our small units, which are highly deployable and mobile, and put them at the front line and move around with forward surgical operations. They could take bigger units and put them back in friendlier countries and make more medical devices. They could also put them in Canada to shore up our domestic supply chain and also to protect our northern border as well. They'll work up there too. We're unique in what we do. There's some people doing additive manufacturing and medical devices, but that's in fixed stationary modes. There's some people doing deployable manufacturing, but that's in other industries. We're the only group that's doing it in medical device manufacturing. We're the only one doing the full stack device. We started in 2023. We were actually asked to join this by the Canadian Forces. They knew we could do this. They gave us a grant. We built them a 40-foot microfactory in East Van. Worked really well. We raised $500 on a 750 safe in about a month. We put a bunch of people, team leaders and tech leaders and regulatory people together, and we're doing this now. We're just about to sign our first 7-figure contract with our first customer. That's a built-to-order specification. As soon as we sign that, we'll move from the safe straight into a $5 million raise. We need to add a lot of fuel to the fire. There's a ton of need for this. People are asking for this. Our revenue model is we sell the microfactories, we do deployment, we do the training, but most of our revenue is recurring, and that's because we supply the raw materials to the factories as well. We do licensing on the devices, and we do service support and maintenance. We're hoping to sell 28 of these by 2028, which would give us revenue well into the hundreds of millions of dollars, and I think we can do that because we have this amazing team. The least experienced of us is 15 years from Silicon Valley. Most of us have done this before. We have business leads, we have regulatory leads, we have engineering leads. We're bringing on world-recognized advisors as well. Why invest in us? I think we're a pretty investable company. We're Canadian, and this matters. Patients are dying. If we don't get this right, it might happen in this country as well. Thank you very much.
So we're now down to our last 3 companies to pitch tonight. So I'd like to invite Jeff Pedlow from Fasken. Fasken's a leading international business law firm headquartered here in Canada with offices in several countries around the world. It's known for its cross-border M&A as well as supportive technology. Jeff is well known here in Vancouver, supporting tech companies over the last 10, 15 years. So, so let me pass on to you.
Yeah, thanks so much, Richard. You covered all the highlights. I'll keep this quick. My name is Jeff Pedlow. I'm a partner at Fasken here in Vancouver. One of the leads in our emerging tech practice. We work with startups from ideation through IPO and exit. We provide a cost-effective service to build the legal foundation that you need to bring on investors, and then strategic advice to help close those investors. Hopefully, you've won them over with your pitch tonight, and we can help get that across the line. So lots of really exciting pitches tonight. We've got 3 more to go. Up next, or first, I guess, is Matthew Hauser from Simu Health.
Test, test. See if I can get this working. Good. $8 trillion, that's how much the world spends every year on healthcare. And do you know how much of that can be attributed to administrative waste? It's a staggering 15%. Simu Health is part of the solution with our foundational ERP for the $20 billion simulation industry. Good evening, everyone. My name is Matthew Hauser. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Simu Health. Some of you here might know me better as the founder of Convergence. So what is healthcare simulation? Simply put, it is the training of all healthcare professionals, including doctors and nurses. It is a cornerstone of the healthcare industry. This is an overlooked industry. There is no comprehensive end-to-end solution on the operations software side. So how do these programs currently get administered? Well, there's a variety of ad hoc tools, spreadsheets, emails, and manual processes. And these are very complex operations. There is competition, yes, but mostly in the form of single-purpose tools, and many of those have been spun out of hospitals, and you can tell. Simu Health streamlines all aspects of the day-to-day operations. We provide increased efficiency, we reduce the mismanagement of very costly resources, and we provide analytics that just are not available today. We have a very practiced team. We've built many commercially and financially successful products over the years for both the public and private sector, including in public healthcare. In the US and Canada alone, there are 5,500 organizations that will benefit from our product on day one, and indeed already are. This initial market has a TAM of $330 million. Our go-to-market approach is twofold. We will first partner with national-level industry associations and become the de facto ERP of choice. And in the US, we'll partner that with direct sales because their hospitals work like businesses. We've been adopted so far by BC's PHSA and 3 of our 5 regional healthcare authorities. Collectively, these clients serve 3.6 million Canadians and operate 47 hospitals. We've also just been recognized by Simulation Canada. In the last 2 weeks alone, and this is already out of date, we've entered discussions with 10 or 12 additional institutions in both academia and healthcare, including, just on Friday, the First Nations Health Authority of BC. We're raising $1 million USD using a traditional SAFE to scale in the US and Canada. And we just kicked off fundraising, and we're in our 3rd round discussions with both US and Canadian VCs. We're early stage, but we've already generated 6 figures in revenues, and by 24 months, we project about $6 million ARR, and then we will expand into immediately adjacent and much larger markets in healthcare. To wrap up, we are building a Canadian healthcare unicorn, and we're doing it right here out of Vancouver. We welcome you all to join us in this journey in modernizing healthcare. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Up next, we have Randy Orr, and I think you can probably tell from his shirt, from Matt Concrete.
Hello, everyone. Meet Matt. Guess what I'm here to talk about? 8%. 8% of the world's global emissions come from one industry alone, and that's concrete. What are we doing? This is what we do at Matt. We rethink this process. We create architectural concrete panels that you can clad onto surfaces such as fireplaces, walls, ceilings, anywhere you want to have the aesthetic of concrete, just not with the carbon footprint. What we do is not structural. What we do is we create decorative concrete panels. There's a timber mass movement happening right now. We're getting rid of concrete, steel, and glass because these are big polluters. So the change is occurring, and architects and designers are looking for solutions. So matte is one of those. Because we're super lightweight, concrete is very labor intensive to install. Our process is light and fast. One of the cool things we do is we work with a company out of Calgary called Upcycling Carbon, and what we do is we take their CO2 enhanced fly ash and we add that into our mix. And what happens is it actually causes our concrete to be stronger, and we displace a bunch of water by doing that process. So that's a good thing. The other thing that we do is we work with Mother Nature's best carbon capture process, trees from supernatural British Columbia. This is our competition. This comes from Asia, or it comes from Europe. It's a 1/2 inch of concrete. Our product, exactly the same, but Mother Nature on the back. So we're displacing all that concrete, but you still get the same aesthetic on the front. We're patented, we're lightweight, and we're a game changer. What are you gonna do when you want concrete up on the 26th floor of your condo and you wanna do a fireplace or a wall feature? You can't, but with matte, that's what we do. Our product has been utilized through retail and commercial and hospitality throughout Canada. We are now in homes from Whistler to White Rock, from Victoria to Toronto, and we've done hundreds of jobs with this product. Some of our clientele, and we're looking for some more. We are small, and that's okay, and we have a little bit of gray, but we're committed to making change in this industry. To date, we've sold 3.2 million from 2019 to 2024 in our product. The obtainable market in front of us is 1.9 billion in Canada for fireplaces alone. We must be a very cold country. But our opportunity, we can make 15 million in those in the next 5 years. So we're ready to go to market, and our opportunity with you is to ask us to help us scale. To go from April, today, to 2027. 2-year run, we're looking for development, marketing, and sales to help us get to the next level, to go from an artisan business all the way to a microfactory model. So thank you for your time. Let's do more with concrete by using less of it.
Great, thanks, Randy. And last but not least, we have Alexander Kurtinen from Syen AI.
Hello, everyone. I'm the last one, so please bear with me. We live in the middle of the AI revolution. We all know it. And we all know that AI is changing our lives. What we might not know is that AI as a sector is running out of data for training. It's already scrapped the whole of internet, all of YouTube, all social media, and still it needs more data, especially for the latest foundational models. More data, more data, more data. And in the absence of data, it has no choice but to switch to artificial data, or so-called synthetic data, which is not so good. At the same time, on the market, there is overlooked, infinite in supply, and massive in size source of real-life video data. A true pot of gold of data, which exists but could not be accessed. I'm speaking about security video footage. Privacy regulations do not allow its usage for any other purposes, especially training models. Existing anonymization solutions do not work. They blur faces, they pixelate objects, and they destroy the value of information in the video, rendering it useless for training for the AI sector. Our solution was designed specifically to solve this problem. It preserves all the valuable information in the original video while ensuring full privacy compliance. It converts any video feed into privacy-compliant, multidimensional video data sets, so loved by the machines. And we envision the future when robots and machines have enough information to train and to become better and make the world safer and AI more responsible. We are a team of 6, 3 co-founders and 3 engineers. And the most important information on this slide is that we discovered this problem ourselves. We suffered from it. And we became passionate to solve it, to make the world better. We pivoted to focus on this problem approximately 1 year ago, and we immediately felt the pull of the market. We received multiple LOIs, we signed our first customer, we're already in revenue, we refined technology, filed a patent, we graduated from Techstars in December last year, and we discovered the market, its size. Size is absolutely massive, and it grows every day, in line with AI growth, even higher. So this market is massive, and to capture it, we need to move fast. And for this, we need your help. So we're raising our first proper pre-seed round after Techstars. It's only $750, of which 40% is already secured. And we invite you to step in, talk to us, and help us close this round. I'm Alexander, and this is Cygen AI. Thank you.
Well, thanks, everybody. I'd like to everybody give a warm applause for all our pitchers tonight. They've obviously put in a lot of time. They put a lot of time, they prepared, they worked hard to make these pitches strong, make these pitches so that you can understand them. And we got them within 3 minutes each, which I think is great for the audience. So I encourage you to reach out to them if you're interested in more information, if you're interested in terms of investing, or if there's ways you can help them with connections or introductions. If you know people in their industries, reach out to them. Meet with them, see if you can help. Anyway, I think that's really about enough for the night, and you're probably enough listening to me. We still have some drinks. We have a little bit of food. If there's, please stay a while, and thanks a lot for coming out. Our next event will be on May 20th, the opening night of Vancouver Startup Week. 20% discount if you want to get an all-access pass. And I think that's really it for the night. So thanks, everybody, for coming out, and appreciate your attendance. Thanks a lot.